Trainland, the International Trolley and Train Museum in Orlando, Florida. Gone, but not forgotten. So for today's adventure, it's another retrospective episode. This is taking a look at the former attraction that was located on International Drive in Orlando. There's not a lot of information about this particular attraction. I do remember going here when I was a kid, and then I went back probably around 2005, and that is roughly when I filmed this footage that you're watching right now. From memory, I believe this Trainland Museum opened around 1992-93, because I was still in high school the first time I went here. And as far as I can tell, I believe it closed around 2009-2010, right around the financial meltdown that caused a lot of job losses in the Orlando area at the time. This was a pretty cool attraction for one of those side places. The admission cost was pretty cheap. If I recall, adults were $8 and kids were $6 to get in. And they would give you a little scavenger map, and you would be entered in to win a prize if you could correctly identify the locations of all the different things that were asked for on the scavenger map. So it was a fun little attraction. The other neat thing about this place was they had a little trolley and a little CP Huntington train that used to run around the parking lot. And it was pretty nice considering this was a small footprint attraction in Orlando. I am kind of biased. This was one of my favorites, and I was really sad to see it close. I will say this, I wasn't surprised when I found out it had gone out of business, because if you look, when I was filming this, like I said, around 2004, 2005, when the economy was good, I was still the only person in the entire museum that particular day. And I remember even as a kid that never really saw the turnstiles move in this place. So it was really a poorly attended attraction. And I think part of it was the location. Past where all the main popular attractions were on International Drive. It was down by the Bell's Factory Mall at the time, and nobody really does well on that section of International Drive. International Drive is really popular over by the Convention Center and SeaWorld on the south side, but the north side, it's generally one failed attraction after another. No one really travels up by this side besides to go shop at the outlet mall, and there's been one failure after another when it comes to this side of International Drive. Had this place been located down near SeaWorld and the Convention Center, I think it still would be open. I remember when this place was first built, they were promoting it as the world's largest G-gauge layout, and I believe it. It was pretty big. That was in the early 90s. I'm sure somebody has gone and surpassed it by now, but it was a pretty substantial layout. What was neat about it, too, is if you've been to a lot of these train museums, they usually build these layouts up against a wall, and then there's one viewing area that is basically a pathway in front of it. But what was neat about this is they built the layout in the center of the room, so they had viewing areas from all four sides, and it was kind of neat. And, you know, it was a three-dimensional layout where, like I said, most of those layouts would be a flat background, but this one, you could walk around, and it was really neat how on one side it was like a trolley layout, and then on the other there would be like a train layout, like with trolleys going underground, and it's just a very unique way to present a G-gauge layout, and I've never seen one built like this particular one. So that's why I do miss this attraction. So what was the bottom line for Trainland Museum? As much as I loved the place, I totally understand why they went out of business. The place was always a ghost town every time I went. I also realized that model trains are not a mainstream interest. So when you're dealing with a niche in a hyper-competitive tourism market like Orlando, its fate was inevitable. But for those 15 or 20 years that Trainland was open, I'd like to thank the owners for providing such a wonderful experience and giving us so many great memories. Thanks for watching this episode of The Adventure Schmuck. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See everyone next week.